Hi, my name's Sue Ellam, and I'm a professional tarot reader and have been for about 25 years now. And I use the Mythic Tarot, which are based on Greek mythology. And over to you.
Hi, I'm Carrie Beleno, and I am an intuitive Reiki master teacher and a spiritual life coach, and I am the keeper of the questions.
Okay.
So,
The woman with the basket.
yes, today's question. So I wrote them based on client and universal humanity concerns, but we don't know what we're getting today, and Sue doesn't know any of them. Ooh, ready?
Yeah.
How do I accept my past mistakes?
Ooh. Interesting. Okay. This card is about support. It's about the support of other people to be there for other people and for them to be there for you. So this is a mutual support system. So this is part of it. It's actually not beating yourself up about them, because we're all human. We all make mistakes in some way or another. And by creating this mutual support system with other people, we have a way of making penance, if you look at it from that point of view, by actually saying, I did this in the past, I made a terrible mistake, I won't do it in the future, and I'm going to do something to help other people, and then I am clear of it. Because it's like, when people believe that, they're born in with karma, and they've got this karma, whatever they do, then they're never free of it. But I do believe we're always free to learn by our mistakes. I mean, if we were perfect, we wouldn't be down here in the first place. We'd be up there in spirit, just kind of coming through as guides. So, it is creating a loving and supportive community and that's part of it. But also letting go of feelings of betrayal, feelings of loss, and grief about things. We have to let go of it and look at the things that we have achieved, the positive aspects of it. Yes, maybe something terrible happened, but what have we learned from it? What are we going to be able to carry forward in either with memories or with a change in belief system, or creating boundaries so it doesn't happen again. So it's rather than wallowing in it and the things, I wish, rather than that kind of energy, it's like, what have I learned? What won't I accept going forward? And what would I do better? So it's taking responsibility of the things that we haven't done, that we could have done better, taking responsibility and learning the lesson, and not apportioning blame to other people. We have to take responsibility. And when we get to that point, it's smooth sailing, anxiety and tensions behind us, and we're able to just have a free road ahead, because we've dealt with it. We've built this community of sharing. We've let go of the regrets, the all the kind of grudges and everything that we let go, and now our hearts are free to move forward. And from that we get small rewards for efforts we're making, a lot of hard work ahead. We've got to remain vigilant so that these little ideas, we don't get triggered and they get revived and revitalized. Don't pay, if there's something that's bothering you, give it 5 minutes of your time, then say, well, this is what I learned from it. Okay, I've learned, and then put it away and and don't give it energy, but just acknowledge the fact that it's popped into your mind for a reason. So say, okay, why? What has triggered me? What haven't I completely healed here? And once you look at it from that angle, once you think, well, okay, I thought I was clear of this, but I realized that I'm not really. So what else do I need to do? What other things going forward do I need to put in place so that this scenario will never pop up again? We always know if we've healed or not if we have an emotional reaction to something. Sometimes it was interesting. I did, in the days of The Journey by Brandon Bayes. It was very popular at one point, and I did this with a friend of mine, and actually he took me through the journey, and it was interesting. There was a couple of things. There was two people, and one I thought I'd forgiven, and the other person I thought I hadn't. And when I went through the journey, it actually was reversed, and I'd actually forgiven the person, which I didn't think I had, and so consciously, but through that process, it was all cleared, and I haven't had any thoughts about anything since then. But it was interesting how my conscious mind thought one thing, but my subconscious was totally the opposite. And here we have confusion. We don't know where we're going. We haven't got a clue. Boat on the ocean, no oars. Where on earth are we going to go? And that doesn't matter, because really none of us know where we're going to go. We think we've got it all in, all in hand, and we've got all these plans, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, we're going to do that. And then suddenly one of the prime pieces gets removed and everything collapses. So unless we are comfortable with not knowing where we're going, we're really going to have a problem, because we don't know. We all think that we know what's ahead, and sometimes it works, and sometimes something else happens which takes us off track. So if we can just have a gentle grip on this wheel of our life, and be prepared to turn the wheel and be adaptable, and not keep hold of kind of grudges and regrets and things like that. If we can just gently, guide if we can, and if not, let the current take us, we end up where we're meant to be. And it's often a much better place than the one that we thought we wanted. And here we have new work, new projects, new things, new learning, new study. So really having kind of regrets and kind of feeling sorry about things, it's really let it go. It was yesterday or day before, and you were a different person then. We grow every minute. I mean, I am different now to when I started this reading. Before I picked these cards, I was a different person. I now have a different perspective about things, purely because of what's come up with this question, and before I knew what the question was. So how can I really beat myself up with something I might have done a couple of years ago, when I didn't have the knowledge to deal with it better? So we just have to just look at every morning we wake up and we're a new person. And if there's things that we are sorry for, then mend them, say we're sorry. And then if we feel that it needs to be said, send it, mend fences if it's possible, and then move on. Because I don't want to be beating myself up when I'm hoping to be 150. So I don't want to be beating myself at 150 what I did when I did something when I was 43. It doesn't make sense, and we can't learn that way. So those are the cards.
Well, thank you. Best laid plans of mice and men, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The mice win.
Yeah. So when I do my one-on-one sessions, I just tap into the energy of the messages. And one thing that comes up so often for people is the statement, you've done the best you could with what you had to work with at the time. And that's what I send away many of my clients with. Be gentle with yourself. We all act and react with the knowledge and the experiences that we have behind us at the time. And absolutely, hindsight is 20/20, and we know more now than we did yesterday. So it's really important. And I think the most important point I want to bring up is what you said about what haven't I healed about this? And you had brought up the card about betrayal, loss, and grief, and to let it go. And I would like to add that the betrayal, loss, and grief unequivocally comes from ourselves. So when you get to the root of the betrayal or the loss or the grief, it's always about ourselves. And that's the part that we have to forgive and let go. So I'll just throw out an example. Let's say you marry someone that treats you really poorly, and you feel you betrayed by him or her. And you know, how could he do this to me? How could she do this to me? And there's betrayal, loss, and grief. But when I work with people that have this going on, what it ultimately comes down to is, how did I let myself get into this situation? Why didn't I do something sooner? Why didn't I react differently? It comes down to them. It's always about us. It's always about how we feel. And that's the betrayal, loss, and grief that I want you to mend with yourself, because I assure you, you did the best you could with what you had to work with. And if you look back and you say, my intuition told me something was wrong about this, and if perhaps you didn't listen to it, now you know. Now you are listening to it. Now you have awareness. So allow yourself to move through the loss and grief of losing yourself, and understand that you have since found yourself, and that the forgiveness needs to come from you for you. And then the mistakes thing will just fall into perspective. There really isn't such thing as a mistake. It's all learning opportunities. And to always be your best friend. Never leave yourself left alone at the bus stop. So go pick yourself up.
Yep, absolutely. That was a good question. I think it's something that plagues the whole human race, doesn't it?
I agree. It keeps people awake at night.
Yeah.
Causes anxiety and much, much worse. So
I'm hoping this video means it. So I'm hoping that this video means that a few people can sleep at night.
I agree. And if you like the work we're doing, please share and subscribe to one or both of our channels, and feel free to reach out to either of us for personal sessions as well.
And thank you very much for joining us. Bye.
See ya.